Right now, I'm living on I'm living in a nice duplex on the nice side of town with my partner, and like this life, it's so simple. But like this was what I wanted for so long, you know? I'm so grateful for it. And I know that it doesn't look big to anybody else, but I want to tell you the reason why it means so much to me is because of the way that I grew up. Like, I moved around the same city over 10 times before the age of like 18, I think. Um, and I never had a lot of like consistency. I was one of five children, right? And I didn't have a good relationship with my parents. I don't talk to my parents now. Um, and gosh, I've experienced so much in the last, what's it been, 5 years since I moved out. And I think about everything that I've gone through to get to the point that I am now, and I'm so grateful to be here. But despite being here, like, and having all these things that I used to write about, like, I used to write about being so lonely and feeling like something was always wrong with me, and I felt like I was so unlovable and like I was always too much. In the life that I have now, with the people that I have now, like, I used to think that like there wasn't really a point in living because understand I didn't understand why anybody would want to, because of how small my world was and how painful the world that I lived in was. And I'm just grateful that I don't live like that anymore. I don't hate myself anymore. I have a much better relationship with myself. You know, now I realize the reason why I hated myself so much was because I was around a lot of negativity and I was taking that in from other people and putting it onto myself. And it's taken me a while to work through it, but you know, now that it's been a few years and I'm able to reflect, I'm like, damn, you know, like so much has changed. And especially in the last few years of therapy, I've realized more and more about myself, and like having a professional's perspective on like, you know, my upbringing and my whole life experience has been very eye-opening, you know, has provided me like so much insight. But all that to say, like, even though I now have all the things that I've been writing about, I usually, once I get to that point where I reach my goal, I tend to set the bar higher. I tend to think like, okay, well, now that I'm here, what next? But I don't like actually take advantage of everything. Like, I don't really celebrate and live in my accomplishments. And I think part of that has to do with me thinking that like I'm only of value if I keep on improving and doing more and more. And then I realized like that's not really what I want though. Like, I used to, when we were in the apartment, so we've been in this duplex for a few months now, but before that I was in a small one-bedroom apartment um by myself until my partner moved in with me. This apartment was like 5 to 600 square feet, a very small place for two people to be, and I felt like I was suffocating in there. And like I loved it because it was my safe place, the first place that was ever really mine, you know, where I could feel safe, where there was nothing held over my head. Like, I was paying for all my bills by myself. I didn't have any negativity when I came home. It was a predictable house, you know, or home to walk into, you know, all of my things. And I was really free to live my own life without judgment or anything, you know? Um, but it was too small. And so while I was there, I started writing about the life that I wanted, you know, to figure out where I wanted to go from there. And I was just thinking, I need more space. And I was writing about like my ideal life that I'd live, right? And in order for me to live this ideal life, I needed more space. Like, because we were sharing a bedroom, I wanted to have my own bedroom. So I was thinking like we need at least 2 or 3 bedrooms. Or you know, I would like at least 2 or 3 bedrooms, preferably 2 bathrooms. And I like the idea of a porch or a patio to sit and write on, or to sit on while I write and like drink some tea or a coffee. Um, yeah, nothing crazy, but just, you know, and like a nice kitchen to cook in, which my kitchen's a pretty decent size. I like my kitchen. um, And so I have that now. But once I moved in here and like we had that, then I was like, I know that this is what I wanted, but why does it not feel like enough? And I realized that I wasn't even taking advantage of the patio that we have. I wasn't taking advantage of the kitchen. I wasn't even like really using the other room that I like, because this is a 3-bedroom. So we have a shared room and then we have our 2 separate bedrooms, right? But like, despite having everything, I was like, I'm not even taking advantage of any of that. I tend to like gather things and then let them sit. Like, I have a bunch of art supplies. I would talk about painting, but I wouldn't actually take the time to go and do it. And I'm like, why is that, right? And I'm still figuring it out a little bit, but I think I realized part of it is because I feel like I'm not allowed to enjoy my life. Like, everything that I do, it needs to be work. Like, I need to be working towards something else, towards something more. I don't, I'm not used to doing things just for the sake of doing them for fun. Like, I feel guilty when I have fun. I feel guilty when I go out with people. Like, I feel guilty if I'm reading a book instead of doing chores. Um, and then I realize like I don't know what really takes priority, like how I classify it. It's like I feel like all the other stuff is so urgent. I need to get the other stuff out of the way. But then I never actually make time for me to enjoy what I have. And I don't know exactly where that comes. I mean, I kind of know where that comes from because growing up, that was kind of how it was. It was like I didn't feel valued for just being myself. Like, I needed to be seen as useful in order to not be seen as a burden. Um, and so I guess that's something that's still like seated within me that I'm still working through. So, with all that in mind, right now in my life, my goal is to enjoy my life, to let myself enjoy the things that I have without guilt and without trying, and live right now, live in the now, live in the moment, and take in what I have and not try to focus so much on the future and feeling like I don't have enough and like I need to work towards more. Because I think part of me feels like I am not allowed to celebrate or enjoy my life until I get to a certain point. But then I realized I've been telling myself that. But then every time I get to that point, I tell myself, no, you need more before you're allowed to enjoy the stuff that you have now. You don't have enough yet. You haven't done enough yet. Like, you haven't done enough to earn like any fun or enjoyment. And I don't want to live like that anymore. So I'm working on changing my mindset. Um, and in my daily routine, I try to get as close to what I imagine my ideal life to be like as possible. But every day is different. Like, I don't have the same energy every day. I don't have the motivation. Like, I've always struggled with motivation, and sometimes I get like this feeling of like apathy where even though I know like yesterday this is what I wanted, today I cannot feel that. I cannot feel that that is what I want, so I don't have the motivation to pursue it. So I'm trying to figure out the balance here. So like, for example, today I woke up a little bit late. I guess, hold on, to set like a better idea of what I'm talking about. So my ideal day would be to wake up early around like maybe 6, take a few minutes to wake up, get ready, brush my teeth, probably change, and be up about like 7 and make myself a healthy breakfast, and then read, write, do some type of exercise, get outside, go for a walk or something. And the reading or writing, that can happen downstairs on the computer, that can happen in my journal, on the deck, with a coffee in my hand, and I'm probably making some type of content. Like, that's my ideal kind of idea. And then I also have a few hours to spare to do whatever I want, like research on a random topic, or actually pull out my paint and my canvas that's sitting in a container. Really, it's very simple, and then I make some dinner for me and my boyfriend. And of course, the daily life also just involves like cleaning and stuff, but that's not like something that you'd write about in your daily life. But it's very simple. I just want to be able to do those things. I also would probably like meditate, because my idea is that I just want to be able to take care of myself, my mind, body, soul, spirit, you know, whatever I need to do. And the cooking is a big thing too. Like whatever I decide to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, I imagine that it's healthy and balanced and it makes my body feel good, because I do notice that my body is sensitive to a lot of foods, and so I've been altering the way that I eat slowly to match what's better for my body. Like I notice that I do a lot better with protein in the mornings, and if I don't get enough protein and I get too many carbs in, then I crash like immediately after eating. So I really just want to be able to take care of myself and do what I want to do. Like I don't really want anything crazy. Of course, I would like to travel eventually, you know. Not eventually. I would like to travel just in general and always have that as an option. I want to be able to not have to worry about money or time or anything. I want to be able to live a slow life where I think that's my issue. That's the problem, is that everything moves so fast and I always feel like I can't keep up. But when I'm here in my own home and, you know, I don't have any plans, I really do enjoy just this little life. Like I don't want much. You know, I just want to be happy and healthy in every way that I can. And so, yeah, think about that guideline that I kind of said. This morning I woke up late, and part of me was like kind of harsh on myself, but then I'm also like, well, maybe I needed that sleep. Like with the low pressure coming through this area, I've been feeling it in like my joints and in my head and everything. So if my body needs a little bit more rest, I need to honor that too. You know, I want to take care of myself, and that involves listening to what my body needs, right? And then I made a tuna bowl, but usually I use the tuna packets, and I ran out of tuna packets, and I was like, what am I supposed to eat? And then I remembered that I had a can of tuna, so I had a tuna bowl this morning. That's been my go-to for a while. Tuna, rice, and cucumber. I recently took the avocado out because I think avocado is making, I think my body's sensitive to it. It makes me tired and like bloated. Um, and then I also mix kiwi mayo, sriracha, some wasabi, and just a little bit of soy sauce into it. And it's a really easy breakfast. Excuse me. And, you know, it's got the protein, carbs, whatever cucumber gives you. You're probably doing some other things in there. The avocado provided some healthy fat, so that's something that I'm not getting in the morning, but that's okay. It's like everything's a work in progress. It's like last week I had a couple days that like completely fit the ideal day, where I woke up at a good time, I went to the gym, I ate good, I wrote and I read my book, you know, and I made another healthy meal. Like, and whenever I say it out loud, it sounds so simple, but those things are not that easy for me, right? But anyways, I have like days where I completely match that, but then on the days where I don't, like today, then sometimes I feel a little bit of shame around it, and I'm like, oh, you know, and it feels like I'm not progressing, it feels like I'm going backwards. But I know that that's not the case. Like I tell myself, like, all you can do is better. Like I try to motivate myself from a place of, instead of guilting and shaming myself into improvement, I try to come from a place of like love and understanding, because I noticed that anytime I've tried to improve something in my life, if I talked negatively to myself while trying to improve, then it was actually harder, because I just kept all those negative thoughts fed and they just kept cycling through my head. But then whenever I changed it into more positive, like say for example with working out, if I'm like, oh, I want to look better, so I need to work out and eat better, then my motivator would be something negative, like, oh, like your stomach's too big, like you need to work on your abs because you need a flatter stomach, like you're not good enough now, like you need to do better. And that I don't even like saying that as an example, because it's like icky, like that's so mean. Whereas in order to motivate myself to work out in a positive way, I can say, hey, like your body's kind of aching in these places, like if you were to work out, that could help your body, and like don't you want to like treat yourself better? right? So I'm like, yeah, you're right. I need to work out so that my body feels better. And that, I feel like, keeps the motivation in a healthier way too. So yeah, basically overall, I'm just like, I talk so much nicer to myself. I used to, gosh, I can't believe how much I used to hate myself and how I used to talk to myself. But anyways, so I woke up a little bit late. I was like, that's okay. I went to eat my food and I went downstairs and then I brushed my teeth and then I changed into my workout clothes and then I got a little at-home workout in because I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to wake up early and go to the gym, but that didn't happen. But instead of being mad at myself about like, oh, like I'm a piece of shit, I should have woken up earlier and done that, I didn't say that to myself. I was just like, well, you got to just move on from there. Just take any step. And I've been telling myself it doesn't need to be perfect. I don't like going to the gym. I can kind of find a happy medium, right? I don't like going to the gym I like going to the gym early because there's not a lot of people there. So since I was running late, then if I were to go to the gym then there would be a lot of people there and that would make it a lot harder for me and make me more anxious and I wouldn't be able to focus on my workout, right? And that's just a lot more stress. And I don't need to push myself to do that when I can get very similar results by just working out at home. So I was like, okay, let me compromise here. So I was like, I'm gonna work out at home instead. And then even while I was working out at home, I was struggling and I was getting really tired faster than I normally would. But instead of getting mad at myself and trying to push through to the point that I pass out, I give myself grace. I'm like, you don't need to push yourself so hard. Any effort that you put in right now, that counts. And your energy is not going to be the same every single day. The energy that you have today is going to be so different than energy you have tomorrow. You got to work with what you have today. Your full effort is going to look different every day. It's not measured by how much you do. Because we're not robots. We don't run on the same battery every single day. You know what I'm trying to say? We're not machines. And so that's where I've been trying to figure out the balance. What energy do I have today and how do I live my life today? And it's a little bit hard because I'm like, I wish we were robots and I wish I know some people can move like that, but I know that I can't. I know that when I do that, I get burnt out very fast. So in order for me to not get burnt out, I need to honor what energy I have and adapt. Learn how my body wants to function, what works best for me, and adapt. So yeah. And then even with making this video, I was like, oh, I've made it a goal to upload a video every single week, but I've been kind of iffy on that. And I'm like, okay, well, I was thinking to myself earlier, before I started filming this video, I was like, what do I need to do today? And I wrote out a list. I was like, I need to do laundry. And I already spent 3 hours trying, looking up recipes and for high protein meals that also have writing out things for protein, fiber, and carbs, and figuring out what we need to buy from the grocery store. I spent 3 hours doing that. I wrote 3 different charts, right? And then so after I did that, I was like, what do I need to do today? I was like, laundry needs to be folded because it's clean, but it needs to be put away. I was like, I need to wash my hair and I need to get a YouTube video made. And I was like, wait, how do I do all of that today? I was like, what's the best way to arrange it? And then I was thinking, okay, before I make the YouTube video, then I need to get ready. I need to put on some makeup. But then to do that, I should wash my hair first because it's hair washing day. But then I'm still gonna go out today and I don't like to shower until I don't want to take 2 showers in a day because my skin's sensitive. And but I also don't want to wait that long to shower and I need to do makeup. And then I was like, wait, you're making this more complicated than it has to be. I don't need to wear makeup to make a YouTube video. I don't even need to go downstairs to make a YouTube video. I can make a YouTube video on my phone the way that I started out before. And we'll just hope that I have enough storage for it because in the past I had the issue with the video ending before, or because I didn't have enough storage, the video would just cut off while I was talking. And I don't know how to edit yet. I haven't found a way to edit videos properly. So I know that I need to do my videos in one take. So that's a whole mix of so many things I've been working on. You know, I remind myself that slow progress or slow motion is still movement. You know what I mean? Baby steps are still steps. You're still moving, you're still progressing. You know, it's like just because my effort today doesn't look like my effort yesterday doesn't mean that my effort today is worth anything less. And also, there's no such thing as perfect. You know, we can adapt where we need to. I don't need to be hard on myself about, you know, like not making the video with makeup on. Like, who cares? The whole point is for the videos to be made. I have been reminding myself that the point in me making content is to help other people like me. And if they're like me, then they won't mind that I'm not wearing makeup. You know, like this is how you find your target audience, right? By being authentic and showing up authentically. And also, these videos are for me, not just for everybody else. Like, I need to enjoy the content that I make, or else I'm not gonna want to keep doing it. And so today I was like, oh, and the other thing that's been holding me back from making YouTube videos is me thinking like, well, what if people don't want to hear what I have to say? Like, they don't find it interesting enough. I'm like, that's fine, because I find it interesting enough, and I'll be able to look back on these videos. And then, so I was like, oh yeah, this can just be more of a video diary, kind of just documenting where I'm at right now, which is what I've always liked the idea of that, of kind of vlogging and figuring that out. But I don't know how that works, and I'm not too worried about that now. I can always learn. But for now, I'm going to start with what I have and do my best with that, which is what I've been doing in every aspect of my life. That's been my goal. So, yeah, barely touched this coffee. It's still warm. So yeah, that's me making the YouTube video and and honoring the energy that I have. I can't find the right words. That's the other thing too about being perfect, is like I stutter a lot whenever I speak, and it's been happening a lot more frequently because my brain is just so full of everything. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to write and get it out of my brain. But also, there's just a lot going on in my life. I've been in the process of doing my autism assessment, and I think I'm supposed to find out about that soon. So I will probably make a video talking about that whenever I get that figured out next week. Hopefully the video will be up next week if things go to plan. So yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you found something valuable out of this. Bye.